guys, so if you're new to the channel, my name's Cooper, I'm an Australian reptile keeper, and this is going to be my update on all my animals for the start of 2020. We're about a year overdue since I last did one of these, and ever since then I've had a ton of requests to do one, and I've gotten a few new animals since then, so let's get right into it. This has got to be one of my favourite little setups I've got. This is of course my mountain dragon tank. And here they are here. I've got 5 of these guys. Now mountain dragons are a really cool species. They're the most southern agamid in the world and the only agamid that comes from Tasmania here in Australia. And these guys, like their name suggests, live up in mountains. They can take a very wide variety of temperatures. They can take really cold, and that makes them a very hardy species and very enjoyable to keep in captivity because you don't have to worry about them too much. Now I have 5 of them, but there's only 4 out at the moment. This boy here is the male and the rest are the females, so they're really cool. And then we have another female that's missing at the moment. All of them sort of do this every now and then. They sort of dig a burrow down in the soil and stay there for a few days and then resurface after a while. I used to worry about it, but now I don't because they always resurface. As you can see, this girl here on the left is all sort of stained in dirt because she was the last one to bury herself down there, so it's quite interesting. It's a new development that's happened since I sort of put them in this enclosure and gave it a really deep substrate, which was originally for the bioactivity, because this is a bioactive enclosure. It's got all microfauna in there, aka cleanup crew, live plants. I've added those in recently. It's got a fern in the back there which is doing really well. And then these new other plants which are starting to grow pups and stuff down there, which is really cool. So yeah, the enclosure is just doing great and these guys are doing great in there. I'm keen to try next year to breed them more successfully than I did this year. I did get a few babies out this year, which we'll look at in a minute, but I think we can do a bit better because they are growing a bit bigger now and they'll be at a better size to produce more viable eggs. Those are my adult mountain dragons, and like I said, this is one of my favourite sort of display setups. I made the whole rock background and everything. Make sure you go back and check out that video if you're interested to see how I made it. But yeah, these guys are awesome. One of the smallest agamids you can get here in captivity that's readily available. And yeah, they're really cool, really athletic as you can see. But yeah, amazing animals. If you think the adults are tiny, wait till you see the babies. So here we have the little babies. And they're absolutely tiny. They're such cute little things. They're starting to smash food now, which is amazing. And there they are. You can see they sort of have little red heads, which is really cool. They have those nice colours coming through. But yeah, they're amazing little dragons. And if you look at my finger next to him, they can basically fit on the tip of your finger. And they've grown a little bit since they hatched out of the eggs. So I got a few out this season, but I had a lot of eggs that went bad, so hopefully next season we can do a lot better with this species because there's not really many people around that's breeding them, and there's really no info online on keeping and breeding these guys. So I hope to change that soon in the future and get some more info out there, but at the moment it's kind of trial and error for me. But yeah, this is their little setup at the moment. I'm still just trying to get them growing, make sure they're healthy, and then yeah, we can set them up in something a bit more interesting. As you can see, they zoom around like little rockets. They're absolutely adorable. Coming down from the little baby mountain dragon nursery, we have my arid Taliqua setups, aka my inland desert blue tongue skinks. So these setups are pretty simple. And up the top here I've got my Centralian blue tongue pair, and they're super cool. And then underneath I have my western blue tongue pair. And how I've got these set up at the moment is basic hides on your left there that are warm hides. That's basically like a fake rock that I've made. There's also some bark. And then on the cool sides, as you can see, this girl's climbing through it right now. We actually have a bunch of leaf litter and gum leaf branches and stuff, and that's to simulate the sort of bushes and shrubs they'd hide in the wild. Especially these Centralians, they love vanishing into the spinifex and stuff like that. So that's what that's basically replicating, and they usually sleep under there on warm nights and stuff. So really cool, really easy to set up, and it works great. So this pair of Western Blue Tongues is now a little over a year old. They've grown so much, they're absolutely huge now. Here's the big female. As you can see, she's got some size on her now. And then that one is actually a male. So he's a little bit smaller. But yeah, they've grown so well and they're such beautiful animals. These guys are a WA locality on the coast of Western Australia. It's a place called Geraldton. And yes, they have those really nice bright colours. They're super cool, and they're actually in shed at the moment too, so they're usually even a bit brighter than that. But yeah, they're such cool animals. They're a really cool species. They're a lot like Eastern Blue Tongues, but they're a bit more shy. They do spend a lot more time hiding, and they don't appreciate handling and stuff as much. With that said, these guys don't mind it, but yeah, they just kind of want to do their own thing most of the time. But they're a super cool species and just absolutely beautiful. They're like living art. So then we have the amazing Centralian Blue Tongues. These guys are really rare to come by in captivity, so I'm very grateful I was able to pick some up. Now these guys had some breeding action at the start of when I got them, and I thought this girl might have been pregnant because she is just an absolute massive lump. You know, she's absolutely huge. There's that awesome tongue flick that these guys have. It's different to all the other blueies. But yeah, turns out she didn't have any babies. She's just fat. But it's good to know the male is keen to go, so hopefully next season we can see what we can do and get some little baby dinosaurs out, because they are a really cool species, really different from all the other blue tongues, and they stay a bit smaller. She's in shed at the moment, so she's not very colourful, but the boy actually just shed, and he's interesting because he actually has a really washed out pattern. Sometimes it even looks like a patternless lizard. It's really different, but yeah, I love them both. They're an amazing species. So here we have what is undoubtedly the oldest animal I've had here. I've had this girl the longest. And this is of course my female pygmy bearded dragon, Pogono Henry Lawsoni. So yeah, if you're unfamiliar with these guys grow a bit smaller than your normal beardies. This is an adult size here. And yeah, she's an absolute sweetheart. She spends most of her time just sitting there looking majestic, or right down underneath this sort of rock hide I've put there. She digs a little burrow under there, and she loves sleeping under there and doing her thing. I think she's about 11 years old this year. I'd have to check the dates. I know I always say that in videos where I film her, but yeah, she's definitely up there in age and not slowing down at all. Still doing what she's always done. As much as I like this setup and it does really well, I might actually think about upgrading it this year, doing a better back rock wall and stuff like that. Just make something different for her, because she's been in this enclosure for a long time. I might just tear the whole thing completely down and make a whole new one for her. Maybe with some more height so she can do some more climbing. Who knows, we'll see what we can figure out. But yeah, that is my female pygmy bearded dragon. So as we come in here to the lounge room, this is where I keep all my Boyd's Forest dragons. This is the coolest part of the house, where the aircon is. So that's where these guys live. So here's my big adults enclosure. These guys are all hanging out in here. So I have my original pair here. Here's my big boy. Let's see if we can pick him up. Very sharp claws. But yeah, he's a big beast. Beautiful animal. Love this guy. He's in shed at the moment, but yeah, what a beautiful animal. So yeah, I've decked out their enclosure recently too, with a bunch of vines, some different branches. Here's the female, the original girl. And unfortunately, over time through breeding and stuff, you can see her crest there. It's kind of got damaged, and some of the spikes are starting to go missing and that. And that's basically because that's where the boy bites on and starts, you know, tearing apart in the breeding process. But yeah, that's just part of it, unfortunately. Yeah, that's her. She's doing great as always. Pumped out 5 or 6 clutches this year. Always just a little egg machine. These guys are so easy to breed and they just go non-stop. And then in here as well, I've got one of the holdbacks that I kept. A nice little female right up the back here. See if I can get her. She is a beauty. Really nice and green. I'm just probably gonna jump. Oh, maybe not. But yeah, she is a beautiful little dragon. And yeah, I kept her from the first time I bred the Boyds. I think she was from the 3rd clutch or something. But yeah, I thought she had some really nice colours coming through, and yeah, she's turned into a little stunner. And yeah, they love climbing up all these vines and stuff. I made almost all of them myself. But yeah, they're doing great as always. But now that the whole virus thing has come in, I've lost 2 of my jobs for the time being, so I've got a bit more time. So what I'm going to do is completely rehaul this enclosure. I'm going to be doing a whole new rock background because I absolutely hate the one in the back there. I hate how it looks. I'm going to do one that's actually really nice looking with some planter pots and stuff like that, and get it all decked out with live plants. They've had live plants in the bottom here for quite a while now. They've been producing new pups and stuff like that. But I want to get some better stuff going and a more natural look. But yeah, they're doing great as always. So yeah, they're an absolutely beautiful species. So there's mama and daughter. And in the future I might actually get an unrelated pair so I can have some more, and I can sell babies that are unrelated. But yeah, these guys, just after all these years of keeping them, they still fascinate me so much. They're definitely the coolest gammon in Australia in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So here we have the little babies in their awesome setup. You guys would have seen this in my other videos. Again, it's all bioactive, live planted, and they're doing absolutely amazing in here. I've got 8 left at the moment. Hopefully some will be going to new homes soon. I'm not sure with freight and stuff like that at the moment with the whole lockdown that's going on, but yeah, anyway, I'm happy to hang on to them for a bit longer because they're such awesome little animals. So yeah, there's 8 in here, and they're really hard to spot in all this dense foliage. Yeah, they're absolutely awesome. Smashing food, growing well. It's crazy how different they look as babies compared to adults. They don't have all their large spines and stuff like that. Yeah. If you live in or around the Central Coast, New South Wales, and you're after some Boyds and you have the correct licensing, I always have some available, so hit me up through my Facebook page and we can get talking. So in here we have my newest addition. I got him not long ago and he is absolutely awesome. My first species of monitor that I've kept myself. This is a little pygmy mulga monitor, or a Gillans Monitor. And yeah, he's been growing, he's shedding at the moment. As you can see, he's all flaky all over. But let's see if we can get him close. He's pretty shy. He doesn't like me coming too close to him, which is understandable. In the wild he'd be prey to almost anything at this size. But what a cool little animal. So intelligent, always looking around, seeing what's going on. It's so incredibly fast. Little rocket. So he's really cool. Again, this is a Varanus gillani, one of the smallest monitors, or one of the dwarf monitors here in Australia. One of the more common ones that you can get here in captivity. But yeah, super cool, really pretty. Got that nice white tail and these cool patterns. But yeah, what an awesome little animal. And yeah, he's doing awesome. This is his setup. He's got that big hollow log which he sleeps inside, and he's always hanging out in and around that. It's really cool. Really natural for him because he is a tree monitor that likes dwelling in the bark cracks and stuff like that. So yeah, amazing little animal. I absolutely love him. Can't wait to see him get nice and big. Get him nice and tame and handleable. Yeah, they've got all that monitor attitude, charm and looks in a little tiny package. It's so cute. Yeah, he's a wicked little animal. Very active, which is how they should be. So that was all the indoor animals. Let's check out all the outdoor enclosures. So first stop for the outdoor enclosures are my blue tongue hutches. So obviously these house my outdoor blue tongue skinks, some of them anyway. Like this special boy right here, look at him. Oh, he's so pretty, so precious. Now you guys have this animal here to thank because he actually started my channel. So this is of course a hypermelanistic eastern blue-tongued skink, or just known as a black blue-tongued skink. Absolutely amazing animals. This guy's name's Crowley, and he is just such a beauty. And like I said, he started my channel. I hadn't seen many videos of these online at the time, so I was like, oh, I've got one, may as well put up a video. So yeah, absolutely awesome animals. I wanted one ever since I first saw one, and yeah, I'm lucky enough to have one. So Crowley gets the biggest touch here. He gets the mansion because he's a special boy, and he's the only adult blue tongue I have out here at the moment. All the others went up to the pits, which I'll show you later. But otherwise I'm trying to keep these hutches for sunning and babies. So out here at the moment I actually have all my baby alpine blotch blue tongues from this season. There's a little fella right there. They're grumpy little things, and when they go outside they become pretty skittish. But nah, they're so cool. Look at that little animal. So I have 6 of them out here. There's 2 in each hutch. So there's one, and his mate is over here. This one's got some real pretty red colours. They're such awesome animals, and yeah, they grow quick. They come out a lot bigger than a lot of other blue tongue species. And yeah, they're ready to go from day one. Grumpy little things. So that's those 2. Then we also have these 2. Again, nice and grumpy. There's one. This little fella here. This one has some cool patterns. Really quite like it. And finally, we have the last 2. I'm really hoping they're looking good. That one's got some sort of stripy patterns, which is interesting for a blotchy. And then this one, unfortunately he's in shed at the moment, but this one is like bright red normally. I've shown him in some of my other videos, but yeah, stunning lizard. And yeah, these little baby blotchies are so cool. So stoked to produce them again this season. So yeah, let's head up the back and look at the adults. So here we have my newest reptile pits I just set up not long ago. So these house most of my pairs of my alpine blotch blue tongues. So let's check them out. So here we have all my alpine blotch blue tongue pairs. So I've got quite a few, as you can see. I'm a bit obsessed with alpine blotchies, and they all live up here in those new pits. They're absolutely awesome. So you want to get a closer look at these, make sure you go back a few videos and take a look at them all, because I do a bit more in detail there when I'm setting them up in these pits. But yeah, they're one of my favourite blue tongue species, and they're absolutely beautiful. Alright, so here we have the famous turtle pond. So in here I have 3 Australian short neck freshwater turtles. Just up the back there, that is my Murray River turtle. And then I also have 2 Crefts turtles in here. So this is their setup. If you haven't seen the video, it's a old spa bath that I converted into a turtle pond. And so yeah, basically the sides of the spa bath here, where you normally put your arms and stuff, I've made into like land areas for the turtles. And I've made a little sort of fence so they can't get out. Set up a filter system and everything. And yeah, they do great up here. So not much has really changed with this. I had a bunch of live plants and stuff, but with the heat waves over summer and then all the rain and flooding we had after that as well, it sort of destroyed them, so I need to put in some new ones. But otherwise I just put in, you know, different logs and stuff like that for the turtles to climb up on, a bit of enrichment. And I think I used to have a big hide box here before, but now what we've done is sort of sunk it into the wall and put it on the outside, so there's a little hole up there, and they can go in there and get out of the elements if they really want to. I never see them use it, but it's good to give them the option. So what I love about this setup is it's really low maintenance, really easy to maintain. They've got a big biological filter here with a bunch of different mediums in there, lots of bio balls, volcanic rock, and like filter medium up the top there, which helps keep the water nice and clean. And these guys stay out here all year round. They have some fish in there as well with them, and it's really enjoyable, really easy to keep. And they do awesome. So let's take a look at the turtles. So the turtles typically like to hang out underneath this sort of cave hide thing. Yep, here they all are. So here are the 2, well, here's one of the Crefts. They're a beautiful species. Nice and light coloured. Yeah, very cute. Always got that smile on that face. They have those stripes there behind the eye, which is quite interesting. And yeah, these guys are growing well. They've gotten so big since I put them out here in the pond. And yeah, let's see if I can get the Murray. Murray's the biggest of them all. This is This is Michelangelo, named after the Ninja Turtle. Yeah, he's awesome. Getting absolutely huge. As you can see there, the shell. Big unit. So here's the little creft. And here's the difference between the crefts and the Murrays, as you can see. In the face there. There's a different striping. A few other differences as well, but yeah. And you can see the Murray's a bit bigger. But yeah, they're so cute. I love the turtles. They're amazing animals. And this year, I think I'm going to give them an upgrade. So here's the turtle setup now, but this year I think I'm going to upgrade them to this pond here. This has a lot more water volume, it's a bit deeper, and I think it'll be better for them to help them grow even more. Again, I'll probably make a big land area off the side here, and yeah, set up a big filter and stuff, but yeah, I hopefully want to move them in there this year. Right, so up here we have some of the reptile pits. So in here we have my main breeding pair of Alpine blotch blue tongues, and then my breeding pair of eastern blue tongues. Now these enclosures I really love because they got the nice plants starting to come out everywhere, and then I also made their fake rock box hides, which makes it look a lot more natural up in here, and I'll hopefully do that for all my pits in the future. But yeah, for now I'm just enjoying these ones. So in here, like I said, is just a stock standard pair of eastern blue tongues. No special morphs or anything with these guys, they're just normals. This boy's in shed at the moment, but he has some really nice dark colours, some really dark orange sidebars, so he's real pretty. I love this fella. These guys bred for me this year, produced a whole bunch of babies, ended up selling them on. But yeah, gotta love eastern blueies. They were one of my first reptile pets. They're absolutely awesome. Female's away hiding under the rock box hide, and that thing is heavy, so I'm not going to try and move that and get her out if I don't have to. But yeah, you can check out my other videos if you want to see her. She's quite pretty. But yeah, that is the eastern blue tongues. So if you made it this far through the video, thanks for watching guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the Australian reptiles. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.